Have you ever felt the warmth leaving your relationship? Quietly, day after day, as if someone is slowly dimming the light bulb and the room is sinking into a cold semi-darkness. It's not always loud arguments or obvious betrayals. Most often, love dies from 1,000 tiny, almost invisible cuts. Habits you repeat every day without even realizing that they are even the silent killers of your happiness. My name is John Gottman, and for over 40 years I have dedicated myself to studying what makes some relationships happy and lasting, while dooming others to failure. My team and I have observed thousands of couples, analyzing their interactions, down to the smallest details. And today, I will reveal to you the 5 most insidious, subtle habits that, like rust, slowly, but surely, eat away at the foundation of even the strongest love. This is not just speculation, this is science. And knowing about these habits is your first step towards saving or strengthening your relationship. Watch this video until the end, and you will not only learn to recognize these silent killers, but also receive concrete tools to counter them. Are you ready to face the truth, even if it's uncomfortable? You think you know everything about your relationship, that your love is protected from major upheavals. But what if I told you that the biggest threats aren't earthquakes, but slow erosion? What you consider normal, trivial, or just part of your personality could actually be a ticking time bomb. Right now, as you watch this video, one of these habits could be undermining your connection. Let's figure out who these enemies hiding in plain sight really are. The first subtle habit, helpful microcriticism and its poisonous aftertaste. Scene: one partner, let's say Amanda, is making dinner. The other, John, comes over and looks over her shoulder. John with a friendly smile. "Oh, you're making that sauce again? Maybe use a little less salt this time. Last time it was a bit salty." Amanda tenses up slightly but nods. Then John is reading a book. Amanda remarks, "You're holding the book too close to your eyes. You'll ruin your eyesight." John sighs irritably. Habit number 1. I call it constant microcriticism disguised as caring. Doesn't sound so bad, right? After all, it's coming from the best intentions. I'm just trying to help. It's for your own good. You recognize this. Are you sure you want to wear that shirt? The hidden subtext: you have bad taste. Maybe you should have parked a little more to the right. The hidden subtext: you're a bad driver. Why do you always leave your cup on the table? The hidden subtext: you're messy, inattentive. Forgot to take out the trash again? I asked you to. The hidden subtext: you're irresponsible, you don't care. This is unconstructive feedback, which we'll talk about later. These are constant little jabs that tell your partner, you're not good enough, you're doing something wrong, you're disappointing me. Even if it's said with love, criticism is the first of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in relationships, which I have written about extensively. It is different from a complaint. A complaint concerns a specific action. I was hurt when you didn't call today, as you promised, because I was worried. Criticism, on the other hand, attacks the person. You never call, you're so inattentive. Do you see the difference? Why does this kill love? It erodes your partner's self-esteem. No one wants to constantly feel inadequate or at fault. It is exhausting. It creates an atmosphere of hostility. The home stops being a safe haven and turns into a battlefield where you constantly have to defend yourself. It suppresses initiative. Why do anything if you're going to be criticized anyway? The partner may simply stop trying. Resentment builds up. Every little thing is another drop in the cup of patience. One day, it will overflow. Scene: Amanda hands John a cup of coffee. Without looking, John takes it and takes a sip. Amanda's face is expectant. John: it's a bit bitter today. Did you overbrew the coffee? Amanda silently turns away. There's hurt on her face. Imagine being bitten by hundreds of mosquitoes every day. Each bite on its own is nothing, but together they turn your life into an itching, hell. Microcriticism is like those mosquito bites for your partner's soul. You might think, but I'm right. He really is doing it wrong. Maybe so, but the way you communicate it is more important than being right. Is your goal to improve the situation or to prove you're right by putting your partner down? The antidote: a gentle start and focusing on I statements. Instead of criticism, use a gentle approach. Talk about your own feelings and needs, not your partner's mistakes. Instead of saying, "You left your things lying around again," try, "When I see things out of place, I feel a bit tense because I like order. Could we come up with a solution together?" Instead of, "You never listen to me," try, "When I'm telling you something important and you look at your phone, I feel unheard and it makes me sad. I would really like to have your full attention in moments like these." Scene. The same scene with the coffee. John takes a sip. Amanda looks at him expectantly. John smiles. "Thank you, darling. Just what I need in the morning." Amanda lights up. This takes practice. This takes mindfulness. But it changes everything. Stop being a helpful critic. Become an understanding partner. And this is just the first habit. Ready for the second one? It's even more insidious because it often disguises itself as busyness or fatigue. The second subtle habit is a connection killer: emotional neglect, especially with a phone in hand. Scene. Amanda is trying to tell John something, but he is engrossed in scrolling through his phone, occasionally nodding and saying, "Uh-huh, yeah." Amanda falls silent. Disappointment appears on her face. Then John approaches Amanda, who is reading, and tries to hug her or start a conversation. Amanda, without looking up from her book, "Wait a minute, I'm finishing a chapter." Habit number 2, emotional neglect or turning away from your partner's attempts to connect. In our digital world, the main tool for this kind of neglect has become the smartphone, but it could also be a book, the TV, work, or even your own thoughts, if they are more important than what your partner is trying to communicate. This is what we call bids for attention. A bid is any attempt by one partner to establish an emotional connection with the other. It could be a glance span, a smile, a question like, "How was your day?" A request for help, "Can you help me with this?" The desire to share an observation, "Look at that funny dog," or a touch. In our research, we found that couples who stay together and are happy turn toward their partner's bids 86% of the time. Couples who divorced did so only 33% of the time. Can you imagine the difference? Every time your partner makes a bid, and you keep looking at your phone, brush them off with a "not now, I'm busy," mumble something unintelligible without looking up from what you're doing, or don't notice the attempt at all, you're not just ignoring their words. You're ignoring your partner's need for connection with you. You're telling them you're not important. What I'm doing right now is more important than you. Scene. Amanda is enthusiastically telling John something. John puts down his phone, looks her in the eyes, nods, and asks clarifying questions. Amanda's face lights up with joy and satisfaction. Why does this kill love? The feeling of loneliness together. It's one of the most painful feelings, Eva, to be physically close but to feel invisible and unheard. Decreased trust. If my attempts to get closer are ignored, I stop trusting my partner with my vulnerability. Accumulation of resentment. Again, every ignored bid is a small betrayal. The fading desire to share. Why bother trying if you won't be heard anyway? People withdraw into themselves. You might say, "But I was just tired," or "I was really busy with something important." Understand, it's not about dropping everything at the first call. It's about priorities and mindfulness. If you really can't give your attention right now, say so. "Honey, I see you want to tell me something, and it's very important to me. Give me just 5 minutes to finish this letter, and then I'm all yours." And then, be sure to return to the conversation. The antidote is consciously turning toward and building an emotional bank account. Notice the bids. This requires training your attention. Look at your partner. Listen not only to the words, but also to the tone of voice and body language. Respond positively. Smile if you can. Nod, ask a question, or touch them. Show that you are here, with them. Create gadget-free zones. For example, during meals, half an hour before bed, or during important conversations. Fill up your emotional bank account. Every positive response to a bid is a deposit into your shared account. The more you have in there, the easier it is to get through tough times or occasional withdrawals when you really couldn't respond. Is it easy? No, it takes effort. But think about the cost of ignoring. Is a moment's pleasure from scrolling through your newsfeed worth slowly killing your intimacy? Let's move on. The third habit is the master of disguise. She often hides behind a mask of strength or independence. The third subtle habit is constant self-defense and refusal to be vulnerable, the master of shifting blame. Scene. John says to Amanda, "I felt a bit hurt that you barely paid attention to me at the party yesterday." Amanda immediately, indignantly replies, "What are you talking about? You spent the whole evening talking to Jessica. I was just trying not to be bored alone." Or, "I was busy talking to the hosts." Don't exaggerate. Habit number 3. Constant self-defense. This is the second horseman of the apocalypse. A defensive reaction. It arises when we feel attacked, often after criticism, even micro-criticism, and we instinctively start to defend ourselves. What does this look like? Denial of responsibility. "It's not my fault, I didn't do it." Making excuses. "I was late because there was traffic." Instead of saying, "Sorry, I didn't manage my time well." Counter-accusation. Shifting the blame. "Yes, I forgot. But you didn't remind me." Playing the victim. "Why are you always attacking me?" Righteous indignation. "How can you talk to me like that?" It seems natural to defend yourself, right? But in relationships, a defensive reaction is like adding fuel to the fire. It doesn't solve the problem. It makes it worse. Why? It invalidates your partner's feelings. When you get defensive, you're essentially saying your feelings don't matter, or you're wrong to feel that way. It blocks problem solving. Instead of looking for a solution together, you waste energy trying to prove your innocence. It creates a vicious cycle. Criticism leads to defensiveness. Defensiveness leads to even more criticism or contempt, the third horseman. And so it goes on endlessly. It destroys trust. How can you trust a partner who never admits their mistakes, not even the small ones? Scene. John says to Amanda, "I felt a bit hurt that you hardly paid any attention to me at the party yesterday." Amanda pauses, looks at him, then says calmly, "You know, you're right. I really got caught up in the conversation and maybe didn't give you enough attention. I'm sorry if that made you feel bad. Tell me, how did you feel?" John is surprised but softens. A defensive reaction is the cry of our inner child who is afraid of being bad, guilty, or rejected. But in mature relationships, it's important to learn to overcome this instinct. The antidote is to take responsibility, at least partially, and to validate your partner's feelings. Take a deep breath and don't react immediately. Give yourself a second. Find at least a grain of truth in your partner's words. There almost always is one. "Yes, I really did stay late at work." "Yes, I raised my voice." Acknowledge your share of responsibility. "You're right. I could have given you a heads up, in advance. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that." Validate your partner's feelings. "I understand why you're upset. I'm sorry that my words or actions made you feel this way." This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything or beat yourself up. But acknowledging your small part is a bridge to dialogue, not a wall of defense. Being able to say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," is a sign of strength, not weakness. This opens the door to true intimacy. And now we move on to the fourth habit. It's as quiet as a mouse, but as destructive as a termite. The fourth subtle habit: emotional withdrawal into a stone wall, silent sabotage. Scene. Amanda is trying to discuss a problem with John. John sits in silence, basically staring at one spot, and not reacting. Despair and anger are growing on Amanda's face. She might even start yelling, but he remains silent. Then, John tries to explain something to Amanda. She pointedly turns away, puts on headphones, or simply leaves the room. The fourth habit, and the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, is withdrawal, or stonewalling. This is when one partner, during a conflict or difficult conversation, emotionally, and sometimes even physically, shuts down, stops responding, stops answering, stops looking at their partner, as if building an invisible wall. Signs include silence, lack of responses, avoiding eye contact, appearing absent, abruptly changing the subject, or physically leaving the room. Often, stonewalling is a reaction to being physiologically and emotionally overwhelmed. When the stress level goes off the charts, the brain simply shuts down to protect itself. A person may feel like a cornered animal. This is more common in men, but it also occurs in women. The problem is that, to the other partner, it looks like complete indifference, silent treatment as punishment, passive aggression, or a refusal to solve the problem. Why does this kill love? It creates a sense of hopelessness in the other partner. How can you solve a problem if no one is talking to you? This causes frustration, anger, despair, and escalates the conflict. In trying to break through the wall, the other partner may start shouting, crying, or blaming even more. The destruction of emotional connection. The wall sends the message, I'm not with you in this. You're on your own. A harbinger of divorce. In our research, stonewalling is one of the most accurate predictors of separation. Scene. John feels himself starting to boil over during an argument with Amanda. He says, Amanda, I feel like I'm getting too tense right now. I need 20 minutes to calm down. Let's take a break and come back to this conversation later. Amanda, though upset, nods. 20 minutes later, they resume the conversation more calmly. If you recognized yourself as the one who stonewalls, understand that it's not your fault you react to stress this way, but it is your responsibility to learn how to handle it constructively. The antidote is a conscious timeout and self-soothing. Learn to recognize your own signs of being overwhelmed. Rapid heartbeat, muscle tension, the urge to escape. Let your partner know that you need a break. This is crucial. It's really hard for me right now. I'm afraid I might say something wrong. I need 20 to 30 minutes to pull myself together. We will definitely continue this conversation. During the break, don't dwell on your grievances. Do something that calms you. Take a walk, listen to music, practice breathing exercises. Your goal is to calm yourself down, physiologically. Be sure to return to the conversation as you promised. This will show your partner that you're not avoiding the problem, but that you care about the relationship. If your partner often shuts down, try speaking more gently and avoid attacking. Let them know that you see how they're feeling and that you're willing to wait. It's difficult, but this is the only way to break through that wall, not with force, but with understanding. And now we've come to the fifth, the most inconspicuous, but perhaps the most common habit. It's like a slow poison that saps the joy from every day. The fifth subtle habit is a vacuum of gratitude and positive reinforcement. Taking the good for granted. Scene. Amanda made dinner and set the table beautifully. John comes in silently, sits down, and eats while glued to his phone or the TV. After dinner, he gets up and leaves. Amanda clears the table with a sad look on her face. Then John fixed the kitchen faucet, spending half the day on it. Amanda comes in, sees the working faucet, and says, "Finally, it's been dripping for a week already." No gratitude at all. Habit number 5, lack of gratitude and positive reinforcement. We get used to the good so quickly, to what our partner does for us every day. Cooking meals, earning money, cleaning, taking care of the kids, supporting us. It becomes the norm, something taken for granted. And we stop noticing it. We stop saying thank you. This isn't about big gifts or heroic deeds. It's about the little things every day. A simple thank you for the morning coffee. A compliment for a delicious dinner, acknowledging the effort, even if the result isn't perfect. Expressions of admiration. You look so great today. A simple, I appreciate what you do for us. In happy relationships, according to our data, for every negative interaction there are at least 5 positive ones. This is the famous 5-to-1 ratio. Gratitude, compliments, support, tenderness, humor. All of these are positive interactions that create a safety cushion for the relationship. When this cushion is depleted due to a lack of contributions, any little thing, any conflict is felt much more acutely. Why does this kill love? The partner feels invisible and unappreciated. No one notices my efforts. Why bother trying? The motivation to do something good decreases. If there's no response, enthusiasm fades. Resentment and disappointment build up. I do so much, and he doesn't even say thank you. The relationship becomes bland and formal. Joy, warmth, and playfulness disappear. Scene. Amanda serves John dinner. John puts down his phone and smiles. It smells wonderful. Thank you so much, darling. You take such good care of me. He kisses her on the cheek, and Amanda beams. Then, John fixed the faucet. Amanda comes over and hugs him. Honey, you're my hero. Thank you for fixing it. I'm so grateful to you. John is pleased. Don't assume your partner already knows that you appreciate them. Say it out loud. Show this antidote. Actively look for reasons to express gratitude and create a culture of appreciation. Scan your day for the good things. What did your partner do today that you can thank them for? Even the smallest thing. Express your gratitude specifically. Not just thank you, but thank you for picking up the kids from school. That really helped me today. Notice the effort, not just the result. I see how hard you worked on that report. Great job. Give sincere compliments about appearance, intelligence, sense of humor, and kindness. Create gratitude rituals. For example, in the evening, share 3 things you are grateful to each other for that day. Gratitude is not just politeness. It is the glue that holds relationships together, the fuel that keeps the fire of love burning. Start today. Right after this video, find a reason to thank your partner. You'll be surprised by the effect. So we've looked at 5 subtle habits that slowly, but surely, destroy relationships. Constant microcriticism. The antidote is a gentle start and I statements. Emotional neglect and turning your back on troubles. The antidote is consciously turning toward each other. Eternal self-protection and refusal to be vulnerable is the antidote to accepting responsibility, validation, emotional withdrawal into a stone wall is the antidote. A conscious timeout, self-soothing. A vacuum of gratitude and positive reinforcement, the antidote. Active gratitude, a culture of appreciation. Did you recognize yourself or your partner in any of these habits? Don't despair. This is not a sentence. Awareness is already 50% of success. The other half is your decision to change and your daily actions. It's not easy. Old habits are deeply rooted. It will take time, patience, and mutual support. But your relationship is worth the effort. Love is not just a feeling, it's a verb. It's what you do every day. Remember, small changes over time lead to huge results. Just as drops of water wear away stone, small positive habits can strengthen your bond to incredible resilience, while small negative ones can destroy it completely. The choice is yours. If this video was helpful to you, if it made you think or gave you hope, please give it a like. This will help other people who are looking for answers to find this material. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss new videos based on scientific research that will help you build happier and healthier relationships. And most importantly, write in the comments below, which of these 5 habits resonated with you the most? What is one small step you are ready to take right now to improve your relationship? Your experience is very important. Thank you for being with me. Remember, Great love is made up of small daily acts of kindness, understanding, and respect. Take care of each other.